Hi everybody, hi. Today we have two incredible guests, Jesse and Mimi.
Hey.
We're so grateful that you took time to come out here to have a chat with us. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, how did you find us again? Using a hashtag, right?
Yeah, so literally I put in entrepreneurial podcast and you guys came up and I thought, you know what, I'm going to DM you guys.
It's crazy. Hashtags work. Hashtags really work.
They work, yeah.
So basically, it's incredible. Cool. Anyway, so tell us a bit about yourselves. First of all, we'll start with you. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? And you will then tell us as well the same thing. Yeah.
I'm from South London.
So, Jesse, for those that are listening.
My name's Jesse. I'm from South London, grew up in South London. I'm of mixed heritage.
Of course, yeah.
And what else would you like to know?
So you grew up, which area did you grow up in South London?
Oh, I grew up in Dulwich.
Dulwich.
Dulwich,
yeah. Cool.
South London.
South London.
To let people know.
Lewisham.
London.
Oh, you're Lewisham?
Yeah. So,
South as well.
South, so, yeah.
So I'm Mary. Everyone knows me as Mimi Yvonne. That's my artist name. And I was born in, obviously, I'm from South London.
Okay.
Lewisham.
Oh, cool. Lewisham in the house.
My parents were Nigerian. So
okay, cool.
How did we met, Jess?
What's the love story? How did you guys meet?
Okay,
How you come together,
there's a Crossways Academy.
Yeah, sixth form.
But so
where's that?
that's in Brockley.
Okay.
Yeah, so how it happened was that one of my friends from secondary school was in Mimi's class.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I came to sixth form a year later and saw my friend from secondary school who was friends with and then we ended up being in the same maths class.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And that's how,
that's how we met.
Nice. So that means you guys have been friends for
16? Since 16, eh?
Yeah, for a little while.
We don't want to find out how old you are. It's a long time.
A long time. It's a long time.
Do you know, have you ever faced this scenario where like you're friends with a friend and then you meet their friend and then you get really close and then they're not happy. The original friends are not like, so why your original friends not like?
No, you're still all good friends.
Yeah,
okay.
Good friends.
But sometimes it's
kind of fizzles out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Yeah. That's good to hear that you guys kept like in contact.
Yeah, it's crazy how we just kept in contact for so long.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, did you go to school, uni there, or like, you know, where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to uni? So after sixth form, you then got to
I've literally just finished my masters.
Oh wow! Congrats!
Thank you.
High five. What did you study?
Cardiac health and rehabilitation.
Oh wow!
So I'm actually a qualified personal trainer.
Oh wow!
I qualified about 5 years ago. I was morbidly obese. I was about 20 stone. I lost 8 stone in weight.
Wow.
I think
I saw some photos. Were you on a show or something?
Yeah, I was on The Biggest Loser.
Wow.
Which is like a weight. They don't do it here no more. They used to do it in America.
It's more American, isn't it?
It's more American, but they did it here, and Davina was our host.
Oh wow.
Was the host, and then that was the last. We was the last episode. I was runner up. So
congrats. That's
thank
huge.
you. So after that, I was spending a lot of time replying to people about how to lose weight. So then I became a personal trainer. I fell in love with sort of learning about the body. So then I did sports coaching and analysis as as my undergraduate, and now I've just finished my masters in cardiac rehab.
That's good.
So that's my background.
How what's paid off then? That's really good.
I'm telling you.
I mean the thing about like losing, it takes a lot of commitment, right? It's really
up here. It's all.
Really does.
A lot of it is up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it is. It's really weird because you have to really transform your whole way of thinking. It's all in the minds. It's all in the minds, and food. Like I would say, among people that are obese, this is totally off the subject, but food is not really used as food when you're really overweight. It's almost like a feel good thing. Yeah. You know, some people you just get stuck in like this repetitive cycle and you don't know any different. I mean, my whole household was obese, so it was kind of like I didn't really know any different.
Yeah. See.
So maybe did you go to uni as well?
So it's funny because straight after sixth form, I went to University of Creative Arts. Then after that I went Yale and I studied graphics illustration, and from there it's like when you finish uni you think, oh my gosh, what the hell am I doing?
So
and I thought, I love kids, why don't I get into become an art teacher and teach kids art, which I love. So it's a great opportunity and it's an amazing feeling.
Because I remember outside you were just saying that you just really sort of took to the creative subjects and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I felt like it was the only thing I was good at. It's crazy how you feel like it's the only thing you're good at. You just
I think it's always good to like just go for what like you're just good at. To be fair,
Absolutely.
but obviously,
and I love art as well. So got me this far. So
no, that's good, man. That's really good. No, because it's like important to just kind of just follow what you're just good at, like what you just naturally.
You're passionate about as well.
Exactly. But obviously, in African house.
Oh, gosh.
What's music?
What's art?
What's art?
What are you
Would that make you money?
Yeah, of course.
They don't know any better, do they? So, but yeah, no, that's cool.
So did you, when you finished uni, did you do the PGCE?
No, so it's crazy. A lot of people have been asking me that. No, I actually, as soon as I finished uni, I said, oh my gosh, what do? I didn't even know about the whole PGC thing after uni. So I just saw a lot of teaching assistant jobs. So there was one as an art teacher assistant, applied for it, got it, and I was working alongside with a teacher for about a year. And she was leaving, and she said, Mimi, why am I going to apply for, hire someone you've been in with me, seeing how I do all my lesson plans, and why don't you apply? I said, I don't have a teacher's degree. And she said, go for it. They're going to love you. The kids know you. You know how to do your lesson plans. Go for it. And
great example of Spencer, you know, innit?
Yeah.
I know.
And from there, I've been teaching for about 6 years now, so it's crazy. Yeah.
But also, you know what they say, that luck is when opportunity meets preparation, right? So you were prepared, and you were working already.
Yeah, because I was with her for a whole year, and she was training me, teaching me how she does all lesson plans, just the way she teaches art and stuff, and I learned a lot that year. And it's crazy how now I'm teaching.
Someone outside was just, she was lucky, but actually you'd already put the work in.
Yeah,
you put in the work. Yeah,
that's incredible. Wow. And then, like, what have you been doing in the meantime after the personal training course that you did? And, like, career-wise, do you have another job or?
So I literally just finished my master's about a month ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I was working nights, and that wasn't for passion. That was just
of course.
So I'm currently at the minute I'm doing drink and draw. And
so let's hear about this. How did you guys come up with this idea?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, it's crazy because I think it was a year ago. I must have mentioned it to Jess. I was just like, because I've been teaching. I do workshops for children, and do art parties and stuff with them. So I thought, oh my gosh, I would love the opportunity to actually create like a workshop for adults and stuff. And I was mentioning it to Jess, just a random conversation we had, and
so Mary mentioned something called Sip and Paint, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. Like I went to something. And it was like all about drawing activities. And then I was like, we should do something called Drink and Draw. And Mary had the idea of sort of Sip and Paint, so we just sort of collaborated. I've done events before, boat parties. So I kind of have experience on the event side, and Mary has experience on the art side, and we sort of just collaborated.
Nice.
Sweet. So it's quite sort of easy to kind of just split tasks into sort of whoever's good at what. That's the way to work.
Because starting something on your own is really difficult. But when you have complementary skill sets, and this is one of the things we always talk about, like on this podcast and in the startup world, that when you have an idea, find someone with complementary skills that will fill in the gaps that you don't have.
Because with me, I don't know anything about events and stuff, so even Jess, she's quite experienced. I'm just used to just workshops with children and stuff like that, so it's amazing how her skills have come into it as well.
Facilitate that aspect. So how many have you done? Like,
we've done quite a lot.
You started a few.
We started March.
That's what the page.
March. When in March?
Was it March?
Yeah, it was March.
I saw the page and I was like, okay. I did a lot, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've done quite a few.
Yeah. But we crossed paths, they were in work life one time.
We work,
yeah.
Old Street.
And there was a, and if I was there and you guys were doing
That's
this.
Crazy.
I know, but like,
that's really weird.
That's really weird. What the hell?
I was like,
so you didn't even know? Like,
I didn't even know, but now we're here. It's crazy, like.
What do you remember? What time period that was?
I can't remember. I think it was during the summer. You do something.
Oh,
in the summer.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's during the
Must
summer.
have been like the cocktail.
Do you ever do it like outside, like if it's in the summer, like?
We got some ideas coming for next year.
We do.
Took too fast.
So literally, all you did is you created an event page on Eventbrite, and then you kind of just began to promote it.
Just put it
And
out
kind of
there.
Yeah.
And how many people turned up in the first one? Do you remember?
Oh my gosh,
It was so do you know what? We wasn't prepared for how many people turned up.
Really?
Because you always have this idea about
yeah, the rough amount of people that we're going to be catering
There
for.
was like, because I think we had, preparations for about 25 people, and I swear there was almost
more than 30.
40. Yeah, there was about 40.
Yeah.
And there was more people coming, and we was like, oh my gosh, are they? They're not on the list.
Both of us as well, so it's much.
Yeah, and it was our first one, so that one was like stressed. But now we have like a policy like no more than 30 because we can't. We can't facilitate
so like
more
when we
than
sit, like just come to the next one.
Yeah.
So hold on, I thought people buy tickets online, and then you have an idea of how many people are coming, and then.
So it works. If we work with WeWork, we give them like 15 tickets.
I've got you.
But when we first started, we never really had like a sort of capacity because we didn't think that many people were gonna come.
Yeah.
So there was just loads of people coming in all directions. But now if we work, because with different venues we do different things. But with WeWork, we give them 15 tickets, and then we sell 15
I
tickets.
see. Interesting.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, so explain the concept. Like, people draw and they drink. When they say drink, do they drink alcohol?
To be honest, we work with themes as well, and it's just a great way of people just coming and just networking and just meeting new people, drinking and enjoying at the same time. Just having fun. It's all about having fun at the same time.
I love the concept, man. I'm a countryside boy, so for me, anything that brings people together, right? That's a great concept, man. Like, so we come together.
Drink as well.
Yeah, have a chicken drink.
One of our favourite activities. So one of the things that we do is like, say people love to come in groups, and when they come in them groups, they like to stick to them like glue. But what we do is we split them up, move them around, and we've got one exercise that we love to do where basically two people sit opposite each other, and they have to draw each other.
Oh wow!
While they're drawing each other, that they're asking them, "So where are you from?" Just getting to know the person as well.
Yeah, as they're drawing.
That's quite jokes. I can imagine like some people like, so I don't.
That happens.
But it's amazing because we do get messages. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to draw. Can I still come? And it's like, it's for everyone. Learning the skill at the same time.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is really. Do you know what? We actually, I love hosting it. We love hosting it.
Yeah, we
You need to come to the next one.
Definitely.
Come to the next one. And everyone, you have to wear a name badge as well. That's another thing.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
So we do have a few people that like come to every single one because they feel like they're part of like a community. They feel
Oh wow,
which I think is really good for any event.
Anything, any business when you have
to make people feel like they're part of something.
That's really cool. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So when people come, do you have people kind of like, got together like into like a relationship or gone on dates after? Because I'm guessing.
Like
a little hitch thing.
Might be.
I mean, you don't have to mention any names, but like.
I'm just gonna have a little thing.
That flirting, you're thinking, they could.
Yeah, maybe something. Or you see.
Could be a bit of flirting. You never know.
There has been. There's definitely been flirting. I mean, on a few occasions we've all gone out to dinner.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we tried to
after the event, we all tried to go for dinner afterwards. Yeah.
We had a police. You know what? We had a policeman came to one time, and that was really strange for me because I've never like been around a policeman.
Was he a black or white policeman?
He was Asian.
Oh wow, okay.
And anyway, someone was there, drove to the event, and they was drinking, and he was like watching him like a hawk. It was really weird. Yeah,
did you just go to him
he needs to slow down.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so
I actually want to come. Like,
come to the next one. Come to the next one.
To arrange my schedule. Do you know what I mean?
You will enjoy it. And if not, and you'll surprise yourself as well. Like in terms of your drawing skills, I think people take things so seriously. Like when
having fun.
And when people relax, that's when actually the drawing is the best.
Starts to come out. Yeah, because I guess they're thinking about, how's this going to look at people in the tell.
And it's crazy, like. Couple of the events we've had, me and Jess sit down and just look at the artwork, and the artwork are pretty impressive as well.
Do you keep the artwork?
Yeah, we keep it.
They could take it, it's optional. They could take it if they want.
At some point, we want to sell them as prints and give a percentage to charity. But we're trying to work on that at the moment.
That's really nice.
And you said you wanted to do an exhibition as well at one point.
Yeah, my artwork. So I'm planning an exhibition next year.
Oh, your
so
own individual art?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Forward to that.
Amazing. Yeah, oh, that's incredible. So in terms of the workshops that you've been running, like, what have you learned? Are there any challenges you've had? So you obviously mentioned the first one, you didn't expect how many people were interested in coming. Any other challenges you've faced in terms of setting them up or getting things together, the resources? I mean, generally.
I would say a big challenge is, I would say in any form of business, I would say in terms of like relying on your friends and family. I think that notion, you can't really rely on friends and family. You have to be relying on yourself.
We know that.
Yes, you know, like certain things, and you post and you think, why are you sharing that? Share that. I'm your family member. Would you better share that post?
Share it. It's not even
just a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
Or a little comment.
Or a little, this is great. I'm proud of you.
Repost.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Click.
Yeah.
It's actually very,
it can be very frustrating,
be.
but it gets better when you just say, do you know what, I'm not interested anymore.
No, because it pushes us even more to get our stuff out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then they'll come back later like, oh yeah, I remember. You were
there
when I was. But yeah, no.
I would say that was a big challenge. It was very frustrating to begin with, but now it's kind of like. It's what it is.
That's the thing about when you've just started. A lot of people don't realize that when you first start something, like a lot of your so-called family and friends generally want, like you've seen that meme and that post on social media, like they'll be out there supporting celebrities and buying £200 trainers.
I don't know them either. It's crazy.
It's so annoying. I mean, I asked one of my family members to come to the event, and they said to me, I don't do art, and I was like.
Yeah.
So if a certain celebrity was there,
but I would come regardless. I don't like, you know what I mean? It could be a barbering course. I'm gonna come because it's my family member.
Support.
Do you know what I mean?
We push your thing, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But celebrity, I find celebrity culture now is very weird. It's weird.
No, 100%. It's slightly
it's crazy because people are fanatical about celebrities. They'll buy their £200 trainers, whatever. They'll do anything. But
you know what I heard today? Have you heard of Post Malone?
Yeah.
So he's got Crocs, Crocs?
Yeah, come on.
Ugly shoes. He's got his own. His own sort of customized version for £60 each. He put them out within 2 hours. They were sold out. Crocs.
Wow.
Is it?
Crocs.
But if I decided to reach my own the wrong croc, people would be like, we on.
It's crazy.
That's mad.
The most interesting thing is I find this specifically in the black community. I can only speak about this because we have this issue, and I'm just keeping it real. 'Cause this is my show. I keep it real.
Yeah.
The whole issue is that we don't tend to support each other as much as other communities do. And we know the problem, and it's just, the thing is, I think our generation we're changing a bit more, but generally we find that, a lot of people in other communities, they kind of help each other, they band together, they create partnerships, but they invest in each other, they kind of help them, it's just for us, it's just, I don't know, there's something there that, because this is an issue we've had, and this is why I love places like this, because you have to take that frustration and that disappointment of the lack of support and redirect into people that you meet that, you meet strangers that are willing to help. Our man over here, literally, he just said, look, I'm on board, I'll help you, and he's giving up his time to come and help us, so you have to go to events and places and network, and this is
definitely
to kind of find other people that believe the same thing, and kind of because you can't dwell on this negative kind of issue that I'm not getting the support I need. So
I found personally that the most helpful support I've got is from people that really, I haven't really known that long.
Exactly.
But they put their neck on the line for me, and it's
even
to this day I figure I'm what?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. There's some people that I know, and I'm just I've known you for years.
From day.
I
know. Do you know what I mean? From way back when. And it's where?
But then it's do you find yourself as well getting a little bit okay, when you do something,
I'm not gonna lie,
I have to check myself,
that's it. Yeah. But for me, I'm quite a bit of a softie sometimes. So if they, I would still kind of help, but you can hold on, but do you know what I mean? So it's quite hard, I guess. But it's interesting.
Yeah, because you know, like on social media, you see all these people saying, "Oh, you know, I cut people off quick" and all this. I mean, the world is not black and white. It's you know, because there's some relationships that's just so like complicated. You can't just cut somebody off. But at the same time, you make a mental knot in your head,
totally.
And you know that when it really, really counts, there are people that you can always count on, and the people that you won't be able to count on because you now really know. And I think that learning process is something you can only learn once you start your own thing. But it makes you mentally stronger, and you kind of just focus on like, okay, you get more determined, like you said, because it's the same thing. Like, you know, in the projects we work on, you know, we know people with money, like, and you're like, yo, like, and the funny thing is they always ring you saying, so when are you launching this thing? When are you doing this thing? And I'm like, if you want to answer that question, like, just you know, just come help me. Like, I know, right?
It's all a learning curve. Like, I feel like since we've started, we've learned something out of every event as well.
Yeah, no, good.
Share what are some of the learnings that you've kind of picked up, and what some of the things you've learned?
Lessons.
Well, strangers, like, basically being really supportive.
Yeah, we find it so amazing that people that we don't really know has been coming to support Drink and Draw, and that's pretty
and they'll promote, they'll retweet, they'll share, they'll do all the stuff, and you're like, okay, this is incredible.
Do you know as well, we haven't actually invested any money into Drink and Draw.
Wow.
So we only have profit.
Wow. That's a good look.
Yeah.
You heard that first.
That's what I was saying to Mary. Like, I was saying, normally, you know, like when I did my boat parties, I had to put up $3,000 before I made a profit. I didn't make a profit, but I had to put up a lot of money. But with this, we've put up zero. Zero.
So you find a location partner, which is WeWa or wherever, and then you obviously did you get the prints, the pieces of paper, and the pens and pencils.
That's Mary's that.
And literally you just...
Art teacher.
That's incredible.
You know what I mean? That eventually
Wow, because I thought...
we are going to start investing some money into it soon. Especially we're going to be doing like private, we want to go into do like corporate events.
That's
where the real dollars
so we're coming.
So we got some big things in the new year.
That's where the big dollar bills are. You know, it's funny, I actually know another artist, and when I moved from Manchester, she's a friend of mine, she's called Sophie T.
Okay.
I'll send you a link. Anyway, we moved down here around the same time, but she is just exploded because she does, she has a small workshop, she just paints, and she uses Instagram like crazy. So, but what's happened is now she does workshops for corporate, for, you know, like team building days, right? And she just goes in and does these workshops, and it's incredible. It's and especially massive organizations, it really brings people together.
It does.
Because they're painting, they're having a laugh, having a drink. It makes so much sense.
And you get to know each other more as well. Not just in the work.
I think it would work well in like certain sectors, like, you know, like banking and stuff.
You can't really loosen up, you know.
I know. The 5 floors or whatever.
Whatever, like, you know, cubicles and blah. So I think like something like that would definitely, especially like, it's interesting because I think it also feeds into like the whole mental health piece as well. Like the need to kind of just like, just treat your mind, interact with people, that kind of thing. So you guys onto something. That's really good. Thank you. Nice.
So what else have you learned? So of course, you know, that's really good business acumen. Like, you know,
so
spend the least.
Spend the least. Like even like we did have someone else who was working with us, but unfortunately it didn't quite work out. And they had other things, and you know. I found that literally you don't really have to spend money to make money. You kind of don't. We haven't invested anything, you know. But being thoughtful, like I'm trying to think like things we've put on the table and stuff. To say like we print out like table decorations, like printers, like it's not costing us any money. Like so
that's incredible.
That's cool.
What else have we learnt, Mary?
Economics, what they call that, low capex, high margin. Literally,
one thing I would say as well that I love about our events, it's all different ages, all different backgrounds, and that's one of my one of my favorite things. Like
all types of
people, all ethnicities, all ages.
I love that as well.
And so it kind of feels like within that moment, you know, like there's a lot of stereotypes of certain people and all this.
Of course.
I feel like they're not there in that event. Do you know what I mean?
Drop that.
Yeah, and the alcohol as well kind of helps.
Helps,
Loosen
yeah.
up.
It loosens everyone up.
We should have brought something here today, Simon.
It's just, next time we can have you back on here as guest. Next time we'll have all the we'll have all the.
I'm all millionaires.
We'll have, it's incredible. And this is the thing: art always breaks down barriers. It brings people together.
It really does.
And the other thing I love about art is that it gets, especially when a while Brexit, like everyone's just at everyone's throat. Everyone's just like so. The thing I love about what you guys are doing is it actually brings people together, and it gets them talking and communicating. So I really love that you're doing that, and you actually have stuck at it. The consistency is so important, because lots of times people do stuff and they're like, maybe I'll make some money. That's it.
So we've been quite consistent.
Which is good.
Do you see how you was talking about your podcast and how people are reaching out to you? This week we've had so many
Emails
people.
Has been a bit mad.
We've had like a couple of bars in Shoreditch that have just reached out.
Keep going, man. It's gonna get bigger.
Amen.
So, what else have you learned along this journey?
That what I've learned is that if you're doing any type of business, you need to do something towards that business every single day. There shouldn't be a day that doesn't pass and you don't do something, whether it's an email, a DM, whatever it is, a post, every single day you need to be doing something.
And it's funny because me and Jess, we talk every day about king control, ideas, what we've got planned, every day. We literally talk every day.
No, I love that.
Literally.
That's what you need to do, because even I'm very much like the whole universe and energy and stuff like that. Just continuously radiating that. Things will start to move, things start to happen. You start to attract things to yourself. So that's good that you always
attraction, action.
Attraction, action.
Attraction,
action.
You can speak these things and you can attract them, but you need to put in that action too, because otherwise nothing's gonna come.
That's it. The action part is important, because I feel like some people feel like, cool, you're gonna sit there and just
talk but no action.
Where's the actual, in the field and actually doing things? So sweet.
I mean, our next event is in Brixton.
Ooh, local.
Local.
Oh,
you're definitely coming.
I'll excuse boy.
Excuse whatsoever.
I think I've contacted every Brixton blogger, every Brixton bars, anything that's Brixton based. I'm contacting them and I'm saying, listen, we're having this event. Like, whoever your audience is, you can give them discounted tickets, whatever. I'm contacting them, and that's been every single day. If we do an event somewhere else, be it Shoreditch, Old Street, I'm gonna contact all of them too. It's just being really proactive.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
That's really good, man.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most interesting things I find is that, when you get in the habit of doing something every single, like your mind focuses, because lots of people, before they start anything, they sort of, wait for the perfect time, right? Wait for the stars and the moon and the horoscope, right?
No such thing.
But even if you don't have the resources to start something, if you just focus your mind on doing something, like you said, one thing a day, like if you want to write a book, write a paragraph a day, or a sentence, like after 6 months, 3 months, you have enough chapters to maybe begin to put out something. And also your mind kind of just zooms into, it's like that thing, like you buy an orange jumper, but before, you never saw many of them. As soon as you have one, all of a sudden you see them everywhere. The same thing. So when you decide to focus and say, okay, at least every day, your mind, you begin to see opportunities and things, and you then, it helps you make progress. So actually, you find yourself making a lot more progress than you would if you actually hadn't started. So that's incredible. So in terms of along is there any kind of mistakes or anything you've kind of made? So you said the first one, for example, was overly you didn't expect as many people. So how do you plan for that now? The events that come up, do you limit the tickets now or? Okay. And anything else in terms of the dynamics of running the?
I would say 30 people. We found out as well is. We can really interact with the people when there's 30. Any more than that, we can't get as personal.
Because you know what I mean? Both of us, two of us.
When it's 30 is a good number for us, and it's because you want people to feel like you're there with them almost as well.
And we want to have fun as well.
But it's also enough number of people to for them to network and meet new people.
Yeah.
More than that is, oh my gosh.
Yes, but can we not?
The thing I was going to ask is, do you then keep that community? Do you like keep their email addresses? Do you have a Facebook page? It's private that you... Okay, that's good. So that means you're building a huge community. That's
So,
really good.
so every event we have, we email them.
So just for this this event that we've got coming up in Brixton, everyone was sent like an invitation. And then some people just bought the tickets straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Sweet.
That's really good. Anything else? Any other kind of like mistakes or kind of like lessons you've learned along the way that that maybe you could apply?
Right, let me have a little think.
So you use different locations every workshop,
So
or
we work as like
The main one.
our main one.
do you use like once a month or once every?
I'd say once a month we use that.
yeah.
Once a
How many
month.
workshops do you do every month? Just
We
one?
should do one.
One a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are building it up to more.
Some more.
But we are really trying now to sort of get into the private events.
Yeah.
So like we want to do like basically ideally we would like to do one sort of public event per month, and then maybe have like weekend bookings for private.
Okay, got you. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's a huge opportunity there, like especially with like Christmas coming and all this.
Yeah.
But generally, all across the year, companies are always doing team building events and stuff. So the other thing I was going to ask so a lot of entrepreneurs are very like jacks or jills of many trades. You learn, you pick up on so many different skill sets that you didn't even know that you had, or you find yourself learning different things. So have you guys picked up on some new skills or like have you kind of like brought a skill into, because I'm just curious to know, like apart from because basically here's the thing, like a lot of people, especially when you're starting out something, you don't have the support, you don't have the money, so sometimes you have to do things yourself. So
would you like to call it the
For me, it's just because obviously I'm so used to teaching kids, and with Drink and Draw, it's about time management really for us, really, because we've got a set time when we start and when we finish. Mainly the time management, just having slots. So for me, it's just the time management.
How long does a workshop run for?
So
2 to 3 hours, depending on the venue. Our next one at Brixton, that one's 2 hours.
Okay.
WeWorks is 3 hours.
Do they take a break in between?
WeWorks, yes, we always have a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the one we've got in Brixton, Space, we're just basically going to have half an hour of sort of, when people come in, that half an hour will sort of be the networking time, grab yourself a drink, something to eat, and then we'll start.
Okay. Oh, that's really cool.
So it just really depends on the venue.
I've learned quite a bit about art. Mary's taught me a bit. Or quite a bit, and then I've also done like research, like found out about cubism and I just I was just like, I need to know, like, just in case someone asks me, I know what to say. Of course, I did do some research in art, and that's what I've learned, because I have no background in art whatsoever. Although if you come to Drink and Draw, you wouldn't think that. You'd think that's
but that's the thing. One of the other things as well is that a lot of entrepreneurs, when you're starting out, you have like imposter syndrome, because sometimes
imposter syndrome.
Have you never heard of that before?
No.
I've been seeing that.
It's a huge issue in the whole startup, because basically you are looked at as an expert in your area. Right?
Okay.
So you get invited to speak at panels and events because now you're the expert, but actually in your head you're like, oh my god, like
still learning.
That's
happened
like,
so many times. I'm just like,
like,
sit on a panel like,
just like so a lot of it's very, very prevalent within the startup community, like a lot of founders especially, because you've discovered a problem. And it's like for me, I used to be a huge dude, and like I became vegan, so I lost quite a lot of weight. And so
are you still vegan now?
Yeah. So when I lost a lot of weight, my clothes just didn't fit me anymore. So my suits and stuff so the problem was that because I couldn't find. So I was in a place in Cardiff, and it was just not diverse. It was so hard to find anything. The nearest barber was like 2.5 hours away. It was mad. But anyway, when I went home back to Birmingham, one of my best friends, his mum, is a retired seamstress. So she said to me, hey, you know what, like just bring the stuff you like. I'm retired, I have some time. I'll patch things up for you. And then I basically took my stuff over there, and then, she patched it up. But I realized it was a problem, because people with these skills, and they haven't been brought to the digital world. Like, I didn't really know much about fashion. And I like clothes, but I'm not like, a designer. And then I discovered that, there's this group of people who have the skills. So now I'm kind of bridging the two gaps. I'm expected to know everything there is. And when you're speaking to like, investors or people are like, okay, tell us about this market, and I'm like, so you have to kind of educate yourself. So this is why I was asking, is there anything that, you have with, obviously your art knowledge, you've updated your art knowledge in terms of that. Anything else? What about just like the commercial side of things in terms of like,
generic business stuff.
Yeah, generic business stuff. The accounting stuff, the banking stuff. I mean, like, how have you guys, have you faced yourself challenge on that side of things?
No, we haven't, not yet.
Because you've done business before, so you have a bit of a business background.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, everything that we've made has been shared profit. So the accounts and it's just we get paid from Eventbrite or Design Night. It goes straight into our account. Amazing. I mean, we got some ideas coming like in terms of prints and stuff like that, and maybe that's where that's all coming.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I guess like the bigger you get, the sort of more relevant.
Yeah.
Obviously, challenges would be. That makes sense.
So in terms of obviously when you're starting something, like stress in general, there was going to be difficult times. How do you guys handle stress and self-care, like in terms of generally in life or with business?
Okay.
But generally in life, how do you guys handle like self-care and like
So how do I handle?
Like, so on a personal level.
I mean, I paint. Like painting is therapeutic for me. So when I'm stressed out, I paint, and it kind of releases. I don't know what it does, but it just de-stresses me.
Yeah,
I relate to that as well.
So that's what I do. So like for example,
music production.
Like the kids do stress me out. So when I get home, I said, I'm gonna paint. Let me just listen to music, drink my wine, and paint, and I feel good afterwards. So
you heard it here first. If you want to de-stress, paint. Therapeutic.
That's what I. Glass of wine to red wine too. That helps.
She keeps one in her desk while she's at work. I'm joking.
We always have wine here. This is the first day. But you're driving anyway, so.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so. Oh man, that's incredible.
But
so how about you? Like,
I love long distance running.
Oh,
that's my thing. Yeah, that's my thing. Long distance running. Yeah.
We're East Africans. We are. We're natural born.
Oh, you're East African as well.
Yeah. So I do the same.
You guys live in a different altitude as well.
Yeah,
so your VO2 max is up there. It's up there. Like there's something called runner's high, and that is basically like you hit like a feeling where you feel like you can run forever. That's the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life. Runner's high. It's actually a thing. And affirmations as well. Affirmations and a little bit of oh my god, what's his name now? Des Brown, Des Brown.
Les Brown.
Les Brown.
I'm hungry.
Les Brown.
He's been doing the same speech for like,
no matter how hard it's going. He could get me through. And E.T.
E.T. my guy. Thank God it's Monday.
Oh my God.
If I'm really stressed, if I listen to them, I can feel like, I'm good. What, is that too cheesy for you?
No, but the Americans, like, as much as they're cheesy, honestly, that stuff works. It really,
it does.
You need a bit of a lift. Like,
it really does. Yeah.
Do you have that in the UK? We don't really have that.
We don't. I don't think we do.
I don't. There's no like equivalent.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah, because the thing is, in the UK, people are more subdued. They're more, they're not too
Yeah.
I mean, I see a few people like Steve Bartlett, the social media, social chain guy.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. He's.
Yeah, but he's more like a Gary V, like Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Yeah, there's a guy called Steve Bartlett who's kind of like the UK version. He's a younger guy, but he's like that, but he kind of does a lot of stuff that's around motivation. So he owns a social media company that's really, it's the biggest in Europe apparently. And it's really successful, but yeah, Americans can be a bit cheesy, but honestly, it works when you wanna, because sometimes you don't have a friend to speak to or somebody, so go into YouTube and just kind of.
They're even like that in person. If you go to America,
they're really like,
hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Yeah.
London?
But if he was in London, you'd be like, why are you saying hello? If you know that he was here and a stranger came up to you, you'd be like, are you okay?
No.
Why are you so out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No one talks to me. Yeah.
But why do you think that's the case? Because is it because everyone else is like that? So the environment. Because I'm from the north, and the thing is, everyone is. You know.
did you come in and start saying hello to everyone?
Yes. Hello there, today. You know,
Oh,
I can see everyone's like,
yeah, no, like
I don't have any change.
I know.
Okay?
I was just going to say, Dr. Wallet.
I know.
Okay.
I know. That actually happened to me. I know. It's just, oh my god. But yeah,
That's fine.
it's crazy. But because the whole environment sucks you up because everyone is so like
Subdued.
Dude.
I think it's a mix. I think it's you behave how everyone's behaved.
Yeah.
What is it? Social facilitation. That's one.
Yeah.
True.
2 is the weather. I mean, come
It's the
on.
weather. Come on.
100%.
Yeah.
Although this summer was quite good.
We had a good summer.
Yeah, it was a heat wave. It was hotter here than it was in Uganda.
The weather can really make a difference.
difference.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Especially for like black and mixed race people.
Yeah.
You know, we need that.
We need that.
I'm not the
It
happiest
was-
when
it-
I'm like
yeah.
sunshine.
And
You
energy,
know?
yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, that's it. It's true.
So happy.
You're
Like,
great,
just
like-
so
Yeah.
happy. Like,
Yeah.
Suddenly everything just looks great.
yeah.
Even in terms of like what you want to eat, what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go out nowhere. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You just want comfort food. You just want to stay in your house.
Stay in the
you know?
cave, the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until the sun comes back. It's tough.
So the other thing I was going to ask is, considering everything else you've done with this and with everything else, like, do you have any tips you could give to anyone who has an idea, who has a dream, who's trying to get something off the ground, but they haven't quite started? Like, what would you say to somebody that has an idea that? How would you?
I mean, that, like we were talking about before, they have
Yeah.
to have that passion. Like, if
Yeah.
you don't have it, then
Yeah.
what's the
no.
point? You know,
Yeah.
we're so passionate about this that every
Yeah.
day it's just
Yeah.
consistent with us talking, emailing,
Breathing,
Yeah.
speaking,
Yeah.
just literally think about it, yeah.
on the go, think about ideas, what we're going to achieve next year and everything.
I would also say as well, like, people have this thing about waiting for the perfect moment.
Oh yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just get up,
Nike,
go
best
and
of
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like, stop talking. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Just do it. Just do it. That's it. Because I think that's one of the biggest. There's nothing if you haven't done any. Like, do
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
talking and just do it.
Yeah.
And then obviously on the way people can, steer and help you out of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's true.
Anything else? I think one of the most interesting things about what you guys have done is that, it's not just that you're doing this to benefit yourselves. You're actually doing something that's benefiting the community. And because the thing is, like, a lot of people, money, or let's just, but actually, when you do a business that has such an impact, like bringing people together, it's so important. Like, and I think building that community, for me, I think is one of the most important lessons I can see within what you're doing. So you build the community, but also do something that solves a problem and brings people together. So you're solving the problem of like this whole, the stress levels of people need to do, therapeutic artwork, but also you're bringing people together to now, like, because I see this whole thing, there's a dating kind of like element to it where you can go to meet new people, because London is a very kind of lonely place for a lot of people that are not from here. And it's when you sit down and begin to talk to people that you discover. So we had Nina on this show, the lady that was launched this Tube Chat app.
Okay.
Again, the whole issue was that she was saying that although she's born and grown up here, she grew up here, she was born in Georgia, but she said, at one point she felt quite lonely, and, she felt like she was missing a lot of opportunities, because you meet so many people on the train in London, and it's just, no one talks to anybody, so she wanted to create something that creates conversation,
That's such a good idea.
It's amazing.
And it's so I think one of the lessons I'm learning from this is that creating a community is really important, but create something that solves a problem as well, and also something that kind of brings people together.
I think a lot of people have, like, one thing I've noticed. Have you been watching the football recently? What's going on with Raheem Sterling?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's really sad. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah.
In terms of that sort of it's kind of like that low key racism, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's subtle, just subtle. But it's kind of like.
I mean, if you're a black person, you know exactly what's
going on. What's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this thing the other day on, she's a comedian, I can't even think of her name, but she's Nigerian. And she bought a first class ticket to go to do one of her shows. And she said when she went on to the the train in the first class section, the person said to her, by the way, this is first class.
Yeah, no.
Like a random passenger.
Yeah.
So she was like, what do you mean I have a first class ticket? But you know what that is,
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, the thing is, I feel like maybe that person has a stereotype and he's never been around black people, or, maybe in a work environment, but in terms of social, actually sitting down to people. And that's what I like about Drink and Draw, the range of people that come and they actually have to talk to each other. I realise, do you know what? People. We're all people.
Different backgrounds.
This is it. This is it.
And especially in this day of Brexit, where, like, let's keep it real. Like, immigration was a huge driver for this whole thing. It's just like, you want to do something you're doing something that brings people and communities together to, create that social cohesion that is missing. And it's by beginning conversations that,
It's interesting because, that Brexit thing, for me, it gets, like, I don't want to get too much into it.
Do you fully understand it?
Get mad.
Do you fully understand it in and out? I don't think
I don't think anyone does. I'm not going to lie to you. Even the economists don't.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
I went to law schools, I did EU law, so for me it was just the frustration of the fact that, those people are blatantly lying.
They are.
And for me, the thing that frustrates me the most is I think the media is really facilitating this whole thing because the journalists don't really hold people to account. Like, people come onto TV and they tell blatant lies.
Rubbish,
And no one is really informed. So, because someone has a posh accent, a middle class accent,
That is true.
they just say it, and so it's believable, But actually, it's just like, for me, that's been my biggest frustration around that whole thing. And the other thing as well, being a black person, I keep thinking, like, look, if these folks don't like blonde, blue-eyed people from Eastern Europe, what are they going to do to my black behind once they... So for me, like, and during that whole process, I guess we can talk about this for a minute, because it affects us, right? Like, when this whole vote was happening in 2016, like, people I've known from school, uni, they begin to post up stuff on Facebook, and, like, they're like, all these immigrants, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
But they're like, not you, Simon. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
you're right.
You're right.
But, like, again, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, people that don't support you in the beginning, you take a mental note.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I was taking mental notes because I saw all these people all of a sudden. What was interesting is, like, I'm from Birmingham, the area I'm from, actually voted to leave, which is crazy, but I know lots of black folks and, like, ethnic minority folk that also voted for all sorts of reasons to leave. And it's just causing all these divisions in society. And I think that the beauty about what you guys are doing is you're bringing folks together. You're saying, hey, let's have a drink, let's draw, let's...
It's weird for me, like, obviously, I'm mixed race, so certain things I'm just like, I can, like, I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle, I know.
Because, not all white people are like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's kind of like...
Definitely.
I know.
And they're like, no white people like that too. Right?
Of course. Like, it's not the case. But the issue is that this affects us. But what you're doing is it brings people together,
That's important, man.
And that's the most important thing about this. So yeah, any other tips you have for anyone who hasn't? So don't wait for the perfect time. Just get started. Do something you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you tell somebody that's just that has an idea but it's kind of like sitting around, kind of not really making it happen.
Themselves out there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. How do you find that? Through a hashtag, right?
I would definitely say network, because people can really inspire you to get things going.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Networking is huge. You can't lock yourself in a room and kind of like, no one's going to beat a path to your door for you to provide them with a product or service. You have to put yourself out there.
I think as well, like, if you're trying to do something and the crowd that you're in is not really doing anything, they may be, your oldest friends or your oldest people or whatever. Maybe that's not the right set of people for you to be around right now.
Yeah.
In terms of business.
Exactly.
It's funny you said that because I feel like, when it got to a point where I had to like start really building my stuff, like you kind of have to take a pause and just kind of like, all right, guys, give me about 10 years.
Yeah.
Might not see me for a while, basically. So it's important to understand that, like, you've got to take time to do things for yourself and for you.
It's the most important.
It's important. A lot of people might mistake that for, you're just trying to, I don't know, like, I've heard ridiculous stuff like, oh, you just forget where you're from. It's like, well,
I have stuff like that, yeah.
I'm trying to just live and build something for myself.
Yeah.
You know, as any human being would do. So that's interesting, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, like, Mary, do you come from, is your family's educated?
Well, like, I was out of my family, I'm like the first that graduated and stuff. So,
oh wow,
so that's an achievement for me.
Family,
I'm the same. I'm from my family don't even know what masters is. They don't know. So it's kind of weird. Like I'm proper like South London, like.
Yeah, but that's not to say everyone from South London.
Yeah, so obviously at times you have to switch up. You don't have to change who you are, but you know,
I know you mean.
You have to be a little bit more, you know.
Of course. Wow, that's
like
incredible.
even my field as well, art teachers. There's not a lot of black art teachers out there, so it's like when I go to meetings for like art teachers and that, like I'm not the only one there. It's wow, there's not a lot of us, you know.
It's weird.
And I remember there was one meeting I went to. This was like years back in. This was actually the French elementary school that I was working years back, and the lady must have said, I think you're in the wrong book.
Oh my
Excuse
God.
me?
That's crazy.
No.
That happened. Something like that happened in my masters. I didn't really get the humour. Like my
what uni was this?
Chester University, and the humour I didn't really get it. Like their jokes and stuff. I was like, is something wrong with me? Their jokes was like, I couldn't get it. And then I would notice like certain little things like. Say if you had like group work, but I don't know, I'm not going to say, it's because of my colour, it could be because of my age, it could be because of anything, but I would have a point to make, you know, the little group discussions and everyone's got a pen, and I'll make my little point, and then when it's time to say to the teacher, I noticed that my point wouldn't be read, and I used to be thinking like, what about my point?
That could be the best point there, right?
Like, I'll give an example, so one time, this was just like an introductory thing, and our lecturer was saying like, what's the causes, like name some catalysts for basically a heart attack, So I said drugs, like recreational drugs. No, I was like, drugs, I'm telling you, put drugs. He never put it down on the piece of paper. And then I said, excuse me, drugs. When they was reading out, I was like, he was like, yeah, you're right, drugs.
That's the answer I was looking for.
That's madness. So, where do you see your company or your hustle in the next 2 to 5 years? What are your plans for the future?
Go Mary. Quite big, right? Like just having different like locations, everywhere. Probably even abroad as well. You know, just there's WeWork everywhere. So we
exactly.
Right,
all over
with WeWork and just Chicago too, boy.
Yeah, we got a link to Chicago for the 29th of May. To do it.
You know they have WeWork have the Creators Awards. Have you heard of the Creators Awards?
Yeah, Creators Awards.
We need to go for that.
You guys need to apply.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. You need to put yourself forward.
We're doing one.
There's big money to be won, and even if you don't win the money, they normally give you like free.
And you're exposed to the network as well.
The network is humongous.
Yeah, Jess, you did mention that.
I did. I was saying to Mary that we need. I love the idea of being able to make money while you sleep. Like, to me,
it's a good feeling.
Or like passive income, whatever you want to call it. I was saying to Mary that we've got an idea of having basically like an adult colouring book, but having it as a package. Like, so say like 2 colouring books, pencils, and like maybe a miniature glass or something, a miniature bottle of something, and basically selling that like on our Instagram. That's something that we're looking to do as well. Having some products
even incorporate that into our website and stuff.
Of course,
and everything just in one as well.
Nice.
That's not it. We want to be affiliated with a charity at some point as well.
So donations we get from that just.
Any particular causes you're passionate about in that sense?
Muscle atrophy.
What?
Muscle atrophy.
Okay, what is that?
It's basically like when your muscles, you're not. I don't know the ins and outs, but I know that it's highly linked to art, and basically it's almost like, is it muscle wastage or you can't use your muscles? So they use art therapy. This is your area. They use art therapy. I don't know. I've seen some videos on it, and I was like, Mary, we should do that.
Okay, I think I've seen.
I think Mary's qualified within art therapy.
So I'm gonna.
That's what.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So to be able to give to something would be nice.
It was nice to give back.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, anything else in terms of future? Are you looking to like get ambassadors or hire people to run them in different areas? Or
Yeah, because it's just
Yeah.
both of us eventually. We're going to have to have a team.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice. And then I guess like you might start focusing on more like corporate things as well.
Yeah. Well, corporate birthdays, and we've also wanted to do. This is actually something that we're actually going to put on the website very soon. Is basically like a drink control hen party.
Yeah.
With like a stripper, with a mouse stripper. So basically having like a stripper, and then people like basically doing like
Live
drawing.
drawing.
Yeah.
Innovation at that.
Yeah, that's something you definitely would do.
I think
that sounds great. Yeah.
They would definitely love that.
They definitely would enjoy
Yeah, and with the alcohol as well.
Can't go wrong with that.
They're good.
Yeah, I think the model of actually getting ambassadors all across different cities and places in WeWorks, someone there to run the workshop on your behalf, and they take someone money. You guys, I think that could work.
And that's great because like
the
most important commodity is already there, like the building, like the
Yeah.
location.
Yeah.
So leverage that.
This is it.
That network's there already there. That's a great.
Yeah,
great way
and
to-
you guys have nailed down the
approach it.
format as well. So all you just have to include is the format and then the ingredients and the materials and so someone can even just get we just came up with a new franchise.
Franchise, isn't it?
Franchise, isn't it? Like someone just brings you guys saying, how can I buy into this? I mean we work in Manchester.
Yeah, it's true.
Like create a package with the materials and like you just
send it, yeah.
and then they give you some of the cuts and they take some of the cuts, they spread the brand and they grow the brand and the community, because now you then grow the community. So if you have a Facebook page or whatever it is, like it will just because it's really simple to do. Like even here, I can imagine us doing, because Christmas is coming up. It's Christmas. We've never had.
Well, get us in here. There's a link.
Yeah.
The link.
We
Set it
can
up.
totally.
The boardroom next door is actually a lot bigger.
Yeah,
we can have
yeah,
at least
yeah.
15, 18 people there.
Yeah.
So we can
hook you up, speak to Alec.
we speak to Alex. Well, yeah, that's really
Because
cool.
like some people are doing their things here, like some.
It's just after work. You just want someone to just go.
Yeah.
We've never had a social here. It's always we're having
There you
Christmas
go.
party. 6
Oh,
months.
did you have a Christmas?
We're having on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's Friday.
It's Friday, yeah.
This Friday.
This Friday, yeah. Did you not get the memo? No. It's this Friday, yeah. And also the guys in the other in campfire too. Anyway,
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's really cool. Those are really exciting plans. Look, we would love to have you back here.
Definitely.
And of course, like as you grow, anything else, or if you're launching something else that's new out of this, like look,
We will plug you.
we'll plug you as we grow. We want to grow with you guys. As you grow, we want you to kind of grow with us as well.
Oh, great.
And look, I'm so like thankful that you guys have taken time out of your busy schedules to come out and hang out with us and share your story, and really inspiring. You're the first person to go to uni in your family. Same. It's just an incredible story. These are stories you don't hear, right?
Yeah.
And
that's it. It's about
successful, entrepreneurs that are determined and ambitious exist.
Yeah.
And they're here,
and
right here.
representing let's also mention they're also representing the ladies as well.
Exactly.
Because it's a lot of men.
Exactly.
It's not every day, innit?
I know, right?
Powerful female leaders here.
I know. So yeah, so really thankful for that.